my favorite rap coming out of Detroit and Flint the past 7 years, 8 years. How did you navigate the East Side, West Side?
I come from both.
How did you become a person in this city that was able to implement a no-fly zone?
Not giving a fuck what people think or say.
We are responsible for gentrification because we don't take the initiative to learn on our own. They always say you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book.
Put it in a book. I mean, being an adult now, I can look back and say, you know, I've done my share of fucking up the community.
Me too. You talk about generational curses, like I got that tattooed on me, generational curse breaker.
Every nigga is suffering from post-traumatic stress.
And you don't even know how you got it.
Even...
I'm over there looking like I'm rubbing my nipples off this motherfucker. This nigga TrickTrick got this freaky ass nigga with that perm on his shit, playing with himself. What the fuck this nigga doing, man? The mic fucked up, y'all. That's it.
FlyZoneUSA, this is Big OG TrickTrick live in the Blue Room on 8 Mile. My very special guest dropped in while shooting a movie, obviously doing some pimping.
Yeah, you
Chico Bean, ladies and gentlemen.
I got my shit, bumper curls.
I said, wait a minute now.
I had to come through, you know what I mean? Real Detroit player style. I came to sit with one of the greatest. I say, man, fuck it, I ain't even putting my shit up. I'm gonna wear my shit like this. That's what it is.
I was looking for the Gators. I seen the hair first. I was like,
I switched it up.
I know he got some purple Gators on or something with the hair. Pimping since pimping been pimping. What's happening with you, man?
Man, I'm good, OG, man. Honored to be sitting here with you, man. More than honored, man. You know, I always like to give flowers to the OGs because, you know, even though I've been, you know, doing this, you know, better of a decade, I'm still feeling like I'm still learning the game.
Sure enough.
So anytime I can be around somebody like yourself who has such a rich history, especially coming out of a city like Detroit, I always say this, you know, you done seen me at shows here and all that. I love Detroit. Like DC is the greatest city in the world to me because I'm from there, born and raised there.
Hey man, that's true.
I always say, if I wasn't a DC nigga, I'd be a Detroit nigga just because I love the culture. I love the way y'all represent. I love the way that, you know, just the town is just so entrenched in Detroit shit. When you come here, you hear the music from here. People here they love the city, and it reminds me of what DC used to be. You know, and before the gentrification struck us real bad, you know, I say DC is its own world because we had our own music, our own clothes, our own everything. And you know, when I go home and part of town I'm from uptown DC, we got it first. They gentrified us first. So a lot of the places that I grew up frequenting and, you know, grew up loving and became a man that don't exist no more.
You said something caught me off guard. You say your own clothes. What was the dress code in DC?
Man, DC, to me, you know, we don't get the credit we deserve. We created a lot of trends, but we had our own insulated clothing experience in DC, the madness, Dada, the DDTP, the shooters, all days, like all of these are local clothing companies. Okay. And when I was young, I could care less about polo and all. I wanted to get me some madness because each side of town had their own line that represented where they were from. If you from uptown, madness was it. You know what I'm saying? The madness shop right on the corner of Georgia Avenue. Like I remember the first piece of madness I got was a keychain. They was making these keychains with these reflective letters on it. And man, something happened to you about one of them keychains. You had to be somebody to get one of them, and I had to buy it myself. So that was one of the first pieces I ever got. But you know, that's what I mean when I say the city. The city is Detroit reflects a lot of that. When I come here, I see a lot of those pieces of what my city used to be when I come here. You guys still have a lot of that represented within the city, so I love this place, man.
Thank you, and we fuck with you too. When you say gentrification,
yes, sir.
Because I mean, I know what it means, I know the definition, I understand the concept behind it, but can you just give me a little bit of what happened as far as the gentrification in your, and let me tell you why, because I've seen some people have debates about gentrification, about the property value, but you go first.
Well, you know, in the city of DC, you know, DC is the chocolate city. Right. You know, that's what it was known as. It was a majority black city. When people say majority black, they just automatically think just, you know, black people in the population. No, black businesses, black police, black mayors, all of the government, black people ran the city. You know, Marion Barry to me is the greatest statesman of all time because of what he did for the city. And when he left office, a gentleman named Anthony Williams got in office, and he kind of sold the city. Like he let them people come in and just start buying up all the property and kicking everybody out and moving everybody. Like what you see now represented in the culture as the DMV is kind of a reflection, in my opinion, of gentrification, because it moved so many people from the city that were displaced because they didn't own any of their property out to the outskirts. So that's why the culture kind of spread. And you always had parts of Maryland and, you know, that was always a part of the city's culture. You know, your Oxon Hills, your Lagos, and all of those different places that represented the city. But still, when the gentrification hit, it hit so hard because like 2000, they started building a train station uptown where I live at Petworth train station. And when they started that train station, you just started to see them shut down a lot of the projects and shut down a lot of the neighborhoods that were crime ridden, as they say. And now when you go back, like for example, I grew up on 10th and Monroe. The house my Aunt Mary raised us in for years, I think it was like maybe $90,000 when she got it in 1989 or something like that. It sold in 2016 for like $1.5 million.
She paid what for it?
Like 90, but she didn't own it.
But she didn't own it.
She didn't own it. You know what I mean? The bank owned it. Because
So she was leasing it, or
no,
she had a mortgage?
She had a mortgage,
Okay.
but when she left the house to somebody who didn't know how to maintain it and fucked it up and lost it. So, and that happens to a lot of us.
A lot of people.
You know what I mean? One of the things I say I make a joke about it on stage about gentrification. I say, man, it's so fucked up because it's so many dudes, especially out of my city, that's in the federal penitentiary for neighborhoods that don't exist no more.
Right.
I mean, you not from there no more. You from Whole Foods now. Nigga, you from Harris Teeter. Nigga, that shit ain't there no more. You from somewhere that don't exist no more.
Now I gotta say, okay, now, so, because I want people to have a clear view, a lot of listeners, viewers rather, don't understand, you know, they just, that word gentrification gets tossed around. It's an interesting subject because like you said your grandmother didn't own the house. She had a mortgage. She left the house to somebody who didn't know how to maintain it. But when she
didn't care to maintain
didn't
have the understanding of what was coming, foresight.
Right, and that happens in a lot of cases, as well as people moving out of neighborhoods because of crime. I mean, if you can't put a $60,000 car outside in front of a house that was once $50, $60 to $100,000, because somebody gonna steal it or break in it, the first thing you're gonna think of is I gotta get the fuck out of here. If you come home from church on Sunday or come home from a show and you live over here on Dexter and Montgomery, where I used to live, one of the neighborhoods I used to live in, and you come home and your house been ransacked, shit missing, and you like, okay, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I can't stay in this neighborhood. So when we say gentrification, the gentrification, is it happening as an intentional thing, or do you believe it's intentional for those neighborhoods to not get the police or community involvement that causes the property to depreciate? Because if you got a crime-ridden neighborhood and there's no presence that helps keep that community safe, you can't blame a motherfucker for leaving.
No, you can't blame them for leaving, but that's the thing. I think the mentality is what the problem is. I wouldn't have a problem with them fixing up the neighborhoods if they fixed them up for the people who live there.
Who live there
and who are a part of this community, because the mentality is just based around us not having the resources to be able to utilize making our community better. I mean, there's certain people you're gonna have to get the fuck up out of there anyway, just because they ain't gonna get it. Certain niggas, you can't save everybody.
Yeah.
But to remove the entire element of what comes from this community and then move everybody else in, and then you improve the schools, and then you improve the businesses, and then you fix the streets and all that. It makes you feel like, well, regardless of what the situation was or the circumstances was when these people were here, it makes you feel like, were we not worthy of getting these same type of resources when we were here? Because you didn't even give us a chance to show you that we could be better. You know what I mean? If you improve the environment, and now the environment is improved, and you come park that $60,000, $70,000 car in front of the house, and then I got a $35,000, $40,000 car behind it, I ain't really tripping off yours because my shit running. I was going through yours because I had a bike, nigga.
No,
You know what I mean?
I mean,
We fucked up in here. You live next door to me, and we ain't ate, we fucked up next door. And you pull up next door to me with a $70,000, $100,000 car, what you think the nigga next door gonna do? So if you improve the community as a whole, then I think that you will be able to see better results.
now let's talk about community. When we talk about improving a community, to me, I believe a community is the people first,
Yes, sir.
the business in the community second, and the government, because they're gonna own and patrol and have their hand is on everything. We never own shit.
In America.
way.
Yeah,
You
eminent domain.
You don't
They'll
fucking
come
pay
get it.
taxes. They come in the
They're
fucking
eminent
take
domain,
it.
and
So,
even if you do, they'll still pull eminent domain, and you'll be.
yeah, you got to get some cattle and bury some people on your land like Trump did.
Yeah. Sure.
Bury somebody on it, then they can't tax it, but or they won't tax it. There are various tax codes, but that's another story. So we talk about community and community having a responsibility to itself on every aspect. You can fix it.
Yeah, I'm out to.
Oh, that motherfucker fixed
That motherfucker knotted up in this bitch. Yeah,
Another
hold up.
take. You good? We good. We got editors.
I'm trying to, you feel, I'm over here looking like I'm rubbing my nipples off this motherfucker. This nigga TrickTrick got this freaky ass nigga with that perm on his shit playing with himself. What the fuck this nigga doing, man? The mic fucked up, y'all. That's if you look at me, just keep doing that. Nigga, it's this nigga on drugs, man. Let me get this shit together, man. Hey, keep that in there. Fuck it.
We keeping it. Here, listen.
There we go. We good to go now.
Okay. Oh shit. We was talking. Okay, we was talking about community.
Community, yeah. We was talking about community before a nigga got on that ecstasy in this motherfucker.
Got the rub.
He got the rubbing all on my shit in here. And yeah, Trick, like I was saying. You know what I mean? Yeah. My bad. My shit was falling. My mic was falling, man. My fault, Slim.
So community, people, business, government, or law enforcement, either whatever, same thing. Now, who do you believe has the first responsibility to the community?
The first responsibility to the community?
Yes.
Each other.
The people.
The people.
The people.
We have to treat each other right.
Each other.
First.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? We have to treat each other as a community. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Which
I shouldn't be looking at you as my enemy.
first of all, 100%.
You know what I mean? I think that's the first thing we got to do. We got to figure out how to love each other the right way.
Yeah.
And a lot of that just comes from the environment kind of breeding.
Snakes.
Yeah,
Snake bitten environment.
Yeah,
I mean, as young people, when we were younger, we landed in it. We didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know that, and I thought moving from the east side to the west side was supposed to be better. The houses were better. We had grass. On the east side, we ain't had, it was a lot of love on the east side. It was a lot of family on the east side. It was values on the east side. And I said it before, when I got to the west side, it was like we thought all this beautiful shit meant something, and it was worse.
Yeah.
And we literally landed in a dilapidating society, you know what I mean, that was just going down. So being a young man, being an adult now, I can look back and say, I've done my share of fucking up the community.
Me too.
I've done my share of all the fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Only thing I didn't do is steal.
Right.
But I sold violence and I did my share. I did dumb shit. I threw shit out the window. I'm a fucking whole idiot. You know what I mean?
I can't even say that. I ain't never stole from the black man, but I done stole. I done stole, baby. I didn't, boy.
Out the store or fucking candy
that's
bar,
what I'm
but I ain't going to nobody's house. I ain't going to nobody's car.
I don't believe in that.
I'm not stealing no cars.
No
no
that's
bikes.
not my thing. I respect everybody hustle, you know what I mean? But that ain't never been my cup of tea. I can't get with that shit.
Well, because I despise that action so much. much. I mean,
Yeah.
being a hustler was the first thing that was available to you. But, you know, so when I talk about, well, I can't really say, because that neighborhood is still black, and it's better now that, you know, many of us are gone. But a neighborhood like it, where people move and the houses go down and the schools only get a certain amount of money per student. If this neighborhood is leaving and the kids is leaving the school don't get the money that they would get for a full outfit. So now they budgeting to save whatever little trinkets of children they have, so they have to shut schools down and move kids to other locations. And a lot of people don't understand that. Move people to other schools, it's because of the way that it's set up. I mean, and I believe that if people want that kind of change, they have to be more involved in their community and more involved in the laws and the policies that are written for the community, and involved in keeping the community safe, keeping the community better, keeping the community clean. You know what I mean? You go to some people's house and see how they don't take care of the house and everybody just run a fucking muck. That's gonna bring the property value down.
Oh, without question.
You know, and eventually, you know, is it that they don't send the police over there, or the community, you know, and the community, you know what everybody say, I ain't see shit.
Yeah.
They just let that motherfucking body run crazy, run rapid. So who is at fault for gentrification?
Well, at fault, I would say that we can't be held responsible for what we don't know. Meaning, even if you look at the education system in America, we aren't taught the things that really matter.
Flat out.
We aren't.
We ain't.
It's the reality. Like, I don't understand how I can go through, now I'm always been horrible at math. I was just terrible at it. But if they would have been teaching me how to do some taxes, I might have figured out how to work that. Because when you get into the real world, that's math you need to know. They don't teach us that.
Right.
They don't teach us the things that we really need to utilize, at least not in the public school system.
Indeed.
If you pay to go, then you might get some of those lessons. So a lot of the stuff that we need to know isn't being given to us.
Financial literacy. Yeah.
Financial literacy. I mean, just how to take care of, you know, trades and all of those things that used to be taught in schools, but they were optional. You didn't have to learn how to plumb, or you didn't be a plumber, or you didn't have to learn how to be an electrician. You could choose to. You know what I mean? Or you can get in trouble and get shipped to Job Corps and got to. You know, so all of those things, I think that we aren't given the, you know, from being an adolescent on up, we aren't given the lessons that we need to be able to really put forth the effort to fix our community from within.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's the first line of defense if we are educated properly. But outside of that, we are responsible for gentrification because we don't take the initiative to learn on our own. And that's the part that I think that we need to implement in our communities. Like,
say that again for me, nephew, so they could fucking hear it.
We don't take the time to learn on our own.
Okay.
The information is available to you. You just have to go get it. Like, it's a saying that they always say, you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book.
Put it in the book.
But the reality is, the books are there. You can go learn all of this on your own. And the time that you spend bullshitting and sitting around doing nothing, you can take that time to go invest in something that's going to properly educate you to be able to pass that information down. It's like the spook that's set by the door. It's like that type of mentality. Nobody can stop you from engaging with your people because it's not illegal anymore. It used to be for us. It used to be illegal for this to happen. For two niggas to sit down.
Used to be illegal for us to read.
Yeah, exactly. All of that. So when you think about that, now
well,
it's
other
not.
than the Bible, you could read.
Yeah, you always can get into that. But
they
even
used to tell you don't read shit but that.
Even implementing that, like, look at something like the Bible. If you implement, if you read Proverbs and really get some of that game out of there, you can apply it to your community. So we're responsible because we don't take the initiative to learn, because they can't trick you with what you know. They can only trick you with what you don't know. You can't be tricked with something that you're understanding of and something that you've been able to educate yourself with. So I think that, and this is coming from somebody who comes from the city of politics. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I always say the thing that makes me not care about politics is because you're from Michigan, somebody from California, somebody from Texas. You all vote to send somebody to my city to represent your interests, but they ride past us being fucked up in the conditions that you're trying to fix in your city every day and don't care.
And don't give a shit.
They see us living in the conditions that you want fixed in your community, but they not up there to do that. They up there to politic. They up there to, you know what I mean, line some pockets up. That's politics. And I come from out of the city that we got to ride past the places that make the laws. We see the Capitol and the White House and shit every day.
Every day.
And ride past it. And you know, DC was notoriously one of the most violent cities in the country.
I remember.
So we don't have the same mentality when it comes to politics. But at the same time,
understandable.
But at the same time, there is value in people. There's currency in us. You know what I'm saying? So if you change the mentality, you change the environment. Like it's certain people in the environment. You come from out of Detroit. Like it's just certain niggas who just love ignorance.
Yeah, they're not fit for
continuous. And it's not gonna be, but you can find a place for them too, but you got to be able to exclude them from the conversations that require something other than ignorance.
Everybody can't go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we have to be able to figure out what those things are, but we gotta learn how to treat each other first. Because as soon as somebody, look at all of the leaders that we've had, quote unquote leaders, look what happened to them. You're out of here.
Out of there.
So who wants to take on that responsibility? Who wants to be the person that say, I'm gonna be, and now it's damn near impossible with the advent of the internet, because whatever skeletons you got, if you ain't walking around with them out like this, then they gonna find them, and then
they're gonna dig them out.
They're gonna dig them up. So
I mean, that's why, when it comes to politics, yes, there are offices and positions that people who understand people should be in. But it's gonna take interest, Nonetheless, there are organizations, and one in particular that always stands out to me is New Era. And New Era is nationwide, but he started here in Detroit. It's ran by a nephew, a brother named Isaiah. And he and like, it's an everyday thing. Community, building, resources, information. He's delivering it, hand delivering it per community, and he's expanding across the country. He really cares, and he really, engages to the point to where more people are involved. I'm 100% involved. Stand with him, walk with him every chance I get, and drop it down every chance I get.
Yeah, it's a lot of representations of that in the city too. Tony Lewis Jr. is one of that comes to mind immediately out of the city of DC.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the go-go bands are big in our city. Like Big G is
big in community involvement.
Man, I mean, I'm talking about like, and come from it. Like he would be what I would liken to you in Detroit. That's what Big G is.
Shout out Big G
in DC, as far as the legacy that he laid down with the music and being somebody that we all know and recognize, that we can look at and say, we know you lived it. We know you come from it.
Right.
We know you did it.
Right.
And to see you in these environments, we know we can trust what you're talking about because you come from it. And that impacts, and it's all about the youth. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I believe in that wholeheartedly because I come from out of those programs. I was in a program called Flock for the Love of Children for at-risk inner city youth in DC when I was coming up. You know what I'm saying? I went through all of those different programs and still was able to find my way into the fuckery because it's so enticing to you.
It's available.
You see it and you amongst it, and it's like, you know what I mean? Even if you're not a gorilla, you still got to let it be known that you don't have a problem with a problem because you'll be a victim if you don't.
You sure know.
So a lot of that comes from the youth not having somebody that they can trust when they talking to them. You bringing in these outside people with these degrees and all that, and God bless them, but they don't speak the language. And when I say speak the language, it's not just coming in and, hey, what's up, sucker, that type of mentality.
Shit. No, you
gotta speak to my spirit.
Come on now.
When I hear you talking to me, I know you understand
that's right.
what I'm going through.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like talking to somebody who's hungry, if you ain't never been hungry before, you don't know how to make a person feel okay with not having a meal tonight.
That's right.
Unless you providing one for them. They don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just those type of things are the things that I think happen. And it's like, I say this all the time, the streets are the same everywhere. The script is the same. The characters might look a little different, the way we dress, the way we talk.
Yeah.
But the script, we all going through the same shit everywhere you go. And I've been places in this country that shocked me, like Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
And Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa, and just
Yeah.
seeing black people, and it's like, nigga, y'all, it's niggas here.
Flat.
First time I went to Milwaukee, I was like, nigga, Milwaukee is the hood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so to see that and to know that if we were able to really come to some type of understanding.
Right.
We don't all have to agree,
Right.
but if we come to an understanding, then we can make some type of change.
Yeah.
But that understanding, I think the internet is. I
make
hate to
people
be
so-
I hate to be
Yeah.
you know antagonistic, but I think that internet done fucked up whatever chance we got to get.
Yeah, because there's no relation in relationship. You know, everything is a relationship. You know, the relationship we have is built on respect. You know, built on understanding, and respect comes with I respect you for as long as you ain't touching kids. I respect you. As long as you ain't beating women head in, I respect you. Don't fuck with the elderly. I respect you. All the rest of that shit, I respect you, because it's a choice that you made, you know. And I understand that from my own experience, life drives everybody into a certain direction, no matter what it is. Life took everybody to the destination from which they stand right now. And the reason I say that is because, you know, like you said earlier, or it might have been on the other clip, we got to pull back in, but you lost your father, you know, he was taken from you at a very young age.
Don't remember him. Don't have any recollection of
How
him
old
at
were you?
all. 3 months.
Okay.
I thought he died when I was 2, but then come to find out, and that's the thing about that I try to explain to young men when I talk to them about, you know, not having a dad and going through losing their father the way that I did. Like, it's a blank space. It's you know, my mother didn't talk about it. And now, in knowing more about her and her passing that I knew about her in her life, because, you know, your mother, your parents, your parent, but they was somebody way before they became your parent.
Sure
And
enough.
you don't really learn that until really
You get old enough
to understand.
Yeah.
And that's if they want to share it with you.
Yeah.
I learned more about my mom the night before her funeral from my uncle than I ever heard out of her own mouth, because she
Right.
didn't talk to me about that type of shit.
right.
Because I can understand it as well, because that's her trauma.
Yeah.
And to have to transfer that trauma down to your child is something that you have to relive twice.
Right.
3 times, really, if you're really analyzing it the right way.
Because it's going to affect the child.
Yeah,
and you had to deal with
and you
it.
had to deal with it, and you remember it from experience. And
Yeah.
once you start going through trauma, you know how difficult it is to communicate that
Right.
for a lot of people. And therapy wasn't a part of the community that they had in her generation. She was 60 years old when she passed away, so she come up in the 70s. You know what I mean? That wasn't nobody in therapy or talking to nobody about their problems. That didn't exist. So for me, I'm thinking he passed away when I was 2, because that was just what I was always told, and I think they just kind of let me run with that. But my uncle, the night before my mother's funeral, was like, man, I don't think if your father died when you was 2, then he would have been your little brother's father. He was like, your mother loved your father. He's like, man, I was there. I was a teenager when your father died. I was 15 when your father got killed. I used to be at his house. I watched Michael Jackson's, perform Billie Jean live with your daddy. I used to watch basketball games and football games with I was living with them because my grandmother was, on drugs at the time, which I didn't know until then as well. So, like, all of that information came to me the night before I put my mother in the ground. So I went and did my own research and come to find out this man died 3 months after I was born, not 2 years after I was born. And I didn't know that until I'm a grown man. So having to internalize that type of information is something that I let people know, like, man, no matter what you're going through, it's always gonna be something to go through, even if you done went through it already. You gotta be able to understand how to push through the bullshit and find the bright side of it.
Do you think the difference between the 3 months old and 2 months old had any
2 years
2
old?
years, I'm sorry.
No,
Okay.
it wouldn't have made a difference because I wouldn't have remembered them either way.
Either way, right.
But for me, it's just that I had been allowed to go through that whole period of life before my mother passed away, not knowing, and was comfortable with it, because no matter if, the way I compartmentalize it now is, even if I would have known that he died 3 months instead of 2 years, he still hadn't been around my whole life and never will be.
So you grew up without a father?
Without a father, yes, sir. But I was blessed enough to have uncles and men around that raised me and took that responsibility to give me the game of a man. I grew up working in a barbershop, Bluebird's Barbershop on Georgia Avenue in Washington, D.C. That was my first job when I was 9 years old. I was a brush boy. I used to take out the trash, sweep up the hair, brush people off for dollars. And being in that environment allowed me to see how men operate at every level, from the lowest to a man at his lowest to a man at his highest. I got to see it all.
Right.
And I got to take influence from all around.
Game.
Great game. All day long.
Okay.
My uncles was, I grew up in a house with my Aunt Mary, my Uncle Reggie, my Uncle Ricky, my Uncle Eric, my cousin Durkee. All these people were in the house. So I would be down in the basement taking influence from all of them. My Uncle Ricky was a DJ. I got my love for music from being up under him.
Okay.
My Uncle Reggie was just the biggest street nigga you can ever imagine. Mm-hmm. And he taught me how to fight. He taught me how to, what to look for in the environment that we come from. My cousin Dunk who was like my uncle, he was on drugs, but I learned what it looked like to go through that firsthand, what that addiction did to you and what it puts you in regards to the state of mind as a man, having to still be in the house with your mama when you're 30 years old, and what that do to you, and having to, duck and hide from people, and all of those things I got to see.
That steered you away from it.
Without question.
So
I got to see it firsthand, all in my household. So even though I didn't have a dad, I still got all of the lessons. And I know that a lot of those lessons I was able to internalize a lot better because I didn't have my father. Because if I had my father, I probably would have ignored all of that and just went straight to whatever he had going on, or whatever he wanted. So I'm
which
still
sometimes
blessed.
can be dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So I still got all of the game and all of the different things that I needed to get, even though I didn't have that experience. But like for me, one of the things that motivated me to be in the position that I am sitting here with you now, I had never been to his gravesite before I turned 21 years old. Never had a reason to go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because my household was different. I wasn't raised with no gray area. Nigga, this what it is.
Flat.
Your daddy dead, he gonna be dead forever. So if you gonna cry, you gonna be crying for the rest of your life. You gotta figure it out, baby.
Yeah.
That's how it was given to me. So I never really had a reason to go look for any other information other than that, because that's the bottom line.
You think that saved you and pushed you to be extraordinary?
Yes. And before I even knew that's what it was. Because when I went to his gravesite for the first time, he was buried in the older part of the gravesite. So I went back and the lady pointed at the grass and was like, he in this area somewhere. Didn't even have a headstone. And at that moment, I'm like, well, I hope I put these flowers on the right nigga, because this is going to be bad if I don't.
Right.
Just my mind just making a joke about it. But the reality is, man, this man didn't even, whatever he did up into his life, up until the point that he died, wasn't enough for him to garner a marker to let the world know that he existed, nor did anybody around him have the ability to do it or care enough to do it. So I can't go out I can't be a patch of grass.
Right.
There's so many of us who are patches of grass.
Patches of grass, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I just was like, man, I got to do something greater than this. I got to be something, because I'm his representation on this earth. So I got to, whatever he didn't get a chance to do, whatever was in him is in me. So I got to put this shit out there. I got to get out there and make it happen. And that was the biggest motivation. And this is coming from a man I never set eyes on, at least to my knowledge, to what I can remember. So he still motivated me even in his absence.
Do you think that's the reason so many young men are lost now? That because you didn't have a father, but it's obviously some lack of representation and lack of proper influence in many of our communities. You said it. You had a bunch of information around you. Why do you think so many young black men are lost? No, young men, period, are lost now.
Because I think that
we can't say without a father.
No,
bam.
Yeah.
I mean, my father was there. My mama kicked him out when we, he's a player nigga. Okay. But he was there. So but still that distance. You know what I mean? If you ain't if the gunnery sergeant ain't over my head, I'm finna act a fucking fool.
Yeah. If you ain't here every
that's
day,
how I end up in the shit
you was in. Yeah.
But it still molded me to be. I did pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. I think that it's just that motivation is lacking, because, like I said, coming up in the barbershop, them guys saw something in me that they wanted to cultivate. Without my knowledge, they just saw something in me that they wanted to, man, this young nigga special. And I think now we so caught up in all of the other shit that can take our attention away from recognizing the greatness in one of these young boys that we see. Even it ain't got to be everybody. It can be just one person. It could be just one that you save to bring up and help. You know what I'm saying? And it don't necessarily have to be a young man. Like, I think that we lose the importance of the presence of just being men for each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you my guy, like no different than my guy Alex. When he just moved back to Detroit, that's my cameraman. I know who you are here. I just wanted to introduce him to make him known to you. Just in case you see his face, you know him for what he do, not just, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean. Like, that's lost. We don't have that same intensity like we used to have back in the day. Back in the day, it was still a level of community that was there amongst us, where a nigga see somebody and say, man, I want to help this young nigga.
Yeah, I can't lose that.
You know what I mean?
I can't lose that.
But that's a ode to your character.
Yeah.
You know, like Steve Harvey does a boys camp every year, and I just did a big donation to Steve Harvey's boys camp, and I love what he does for them young men.
Yeah.
Because it's all young men that don't have dads in their lives, and when you come from out of that environment, you one mistake away from being like every other nigga that's fucked off.
Shout out to Steve Harvey.
We all are. No matter what you do, we have been blessed to be successful in our lives and do all of the great things that we're able to do and are going to do. But if we go out here and 1 second, all this shit can go away.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to navigate that and also be able to say, man, you know what? No matter what I got going on, I still can find time to pour into the next generation or pour into my brother.
Yeah, pour into my brother. Yeah.
It's necessary.
Indeed.
But it's a mentality that I think is lost because there's so much to focus on. Like, I just was talking to one of my young guys the other day, and I said, I respect what you're going through. I'm not going to act like I understand what you're dealing with, because I didn't have to deal with that. I wasn't competing with everybody highlight reel.
Yeah.
I only knew what the girls looked like in my neighborhood and the ones I went to school with. You know what they look like all over the city, all over the country. You looking at ass and titties all day. Niggas is holding up $50,000, $60,000 that's 2, 3, 4 years younger than you. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if the mentality it takes to have to deal with that. We watch videos and all of that, and you know, rap videos and MTV and the box and all of that, but that was as good as it got for us. But that was a whole nother world. Now fame is completely different. The access to fame, what it was like when you became famous, that was real fame.
Right.
Now, somebody can say, man, fuck you, and directly to you.
And go kabuku.
And go say fuck the next person right after that. And you gotta see that and internalize that. We don't know what that feels like. We can ignore it because we come from an era without it.
Yeah.
You know how to look at it and be like, man, this shit.
I mean, when you've been hearing a big mouth for so long, it's like crickets. It's just, you don't hear it. It's just there. You know, it's just there. It's just, we don't go try to catch the crickets at night when they come out and where them motherfuckers at?
Yeah, because you're used to the noise.
Yeah, they just over there. You
know? But
yeah.
Now the cricket is telling you where they at and saying, come see about me.
Well, I know he in the bush.
Yeah, nah, they
you know what I
pretend
say?
like they telling you what bush they in.
And you know what I say? Wintertime coming, bitch. Wintertime coming. See, you ain't gonna be there too much longer. You gonna talk until your ass die.
You see what I'm saying? But that's the mentality that I think, and that's why I'm so glad that people like you are doing this, because
bless you.
We need the mentality of people who come from an era that none of this would have been able to exist in, to show us how to do it without subscribing to it. You don't have to subscribe to something to utilize it. You know what I'm saying? You can utilize it for what it's for and then separate yourself from it, but it takes people like you who know what it looks like without none of this shit, who know what it takes to make it to the next level without having any of the access that we have now. How do you do that?
Well, you gonna answer that by telling me how you and your brothers changed the game of comedy. The first trio I've ever seen desecrate a stage, like just destroy an audience. Just y'all be beating motherfuckers to death from laughter. How was there ever a time where y'all were, because I've always known and watched all of y'all.
Of course.
especially DC, because he worked with my brother Parlay in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And we've
I
done
fuck with
some
Parlay,
film
that's my
projects
guy, yeah.
back in the day, and him in DC like that. And he always cracked me up just seeing him. As soon as I see him, I just start laughing. He one of them. And was it ever a time where it didn't work, or did y'all like, hey, let's try this, and kaboom?
Nah, it was just that. Like it's bigger than us. It was ordained. Like Los had the idea, and you know, when you trust your brother, you trust your brother. You know what I mean? We come up from off of Wild 'N Out together. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we came in the game having to work together. You know what I'm saying? And once he had the idea of, man, we got to make something from scratch for us.
For you, yes, indeed.
Once we did that, it was nothing that could happen that wouldn't work, because it's all organic. We just doing what naturally come to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no rules.
And shout out to Nick Cannon for keeping that, building that, and keeping that platform. Like so many great people coming from that.
I always say it's our generations in living color, because everybody that you see that comes out of that college or that school of comedy, it's no show like it. It's the blackest show that has existed in, you know what I mean, since then, you know. So salute to Nick for just having not only the mentality to put it together, but standing beside us while he did. Because a lot of bosses don't have to do that. They say, here, you know, y'all niggas figure it out. I gave you the platform, it's on you now. He didn't just do that. He gave us the platform and stood beside us and let us joke on him. This the nigga that, this shit say Nick Cannon presents Wild 'N Out. And some of the greatest jokes ever told was about this nigga.
And he's there for it.
So when you come from that type of mentality, it makes you realize, man, ain't nobody bigger than the program, but you got to create the program. You know what I'm saying?
Say that again.
Nobody's bigger than the program, but you would need to create your program.
That ain't just a TV show. That's real life.
That's real life.
That's
in
the whole
general.
outfit.
That's everything.
That's the whole journey of life right there.
Yes, sir.
Say it again one more time.
And nobody's bigger than the program.
Boast the fucking words on the screen, Jeremy, when he say this.
Yeah, nobody's bigger than the program, but you got to create your program. You know what I'm saying? So
that's cold.
That's the reality. So once we created our program, we realized that, man, this is gonna work. You know what I'm saying? And once it started working,
because you said so.
Yeah, because I took the time out to create, and I took and put the effort in and put the work in to make this thing go. You understand that? It's all about, you can't cheat the game.
You can't cheat energy.
You can't. It's impossible.
Cheat energy. You don't put that in there, you don't put that energy into it, you got nothing.
You have nothing.
You don't put that time into it, you got nothing. You don't put no love into it, you got nothing.
You got nothing.
You got nothing.
So I think that's what made it work. And once we got on stage and got the freedom to be able to do what we wanted to do, because we come from out of a structure, we come from out of the corporate side of it, and doing Wild 'N Out and understanding that, you know, how to, you know, play under the whistle versus, you know, the way I kind of explain it is, Wild 'N Out is the NBA. 85 South Show is the Rucker.
Okay.
You know,
I was going to say the big three. They be fighting like
this is the and one mixtape.
Okay.
Like when you get to come and they're not calling that Curry if it look good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The NBA, it don't matter how good it look.
Yeah.
But over here, you can. As long as it look good, you can, you know what I mean? You can pop, lock, and do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Right.
And that's the beauty of it. So it's just being able to make it work the way you need it to work. And I think that's the best way to explain it, is just that, man, we understood that God had his light shining on us and not around us.
Passing the ideas back and forth between the three of y'all, is it just so when you go on, I don't want you to give away the formula, but
there's no formula. That's the thing. Sometimes we don't see each other until we about to go on stage.
Like,
we've never practiced one time.
I mean,
never rehearsed.
Yeah.
Like we just go, and we trust it. There is no such thing as having a bad night when I got them two dudes on stage with me. There's no such thing as Los having a bad night when he got us on stage. There's no such thing as Fly having a bad night. And we realized that, man, it's enough spotlight for everybody.
Yes.
You don't, I mean, you know, it's like comedy is naturally an individualistic sport, if you will. You know, it's you flat foot with the microphone, but we still do that too.
Yeah.
All of us do. We still individual stand up. We all do that.
Okay.
We all do that individually. We all got our own tours. We all got our own everything. But when we come together, Voltron. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Let's make it happen this way. And nobody's ever done it that way before. And we've got that game from the OGs. The OGs have told us, man, like, man, if we would have did this, we'd have made a lot more money. But we just couldn't fuck with each other because niggas don't like each other for real. But we love each other, so I think that's
right.
the biggest difference.
That's right. It's love involved.
Yeah.
That makes it right.
That's the main thing. We love each other.
That
man.
makes that.
And we're
that's
fans of each other. So.
Ordained right there.
Yes, sir.
That's when the Most High pour His power into it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love it. What's something we getting right as a culture, and what's something we getting wrong?
Oh man, that's a great question. Something we're getting right as a culture is continuing to create culture. Like we still the dopest people on the planet, in my opinion. Black people are the coolest motherfuckers on earth.
You could say that again.
I mean, on the planet. On the planet, man. Like you go in, I've been all around the world.
Fucking love these fucking retards.
It can't help it. I mean, it's just, but I can't help it. I love being a nigga. I can't help it.
I don't know what the fuck it is.
That's what it is.
I keep hiring these
Niggas,
motherfuckers.
I can't. We all do. You can't help it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the culture that we breed. Is as long as we continue to do that, we'll always have something to lay our head on. That's one of the things that I hate that people say that from other places. Oh, y'all don't have any culture. We are the culture.
Who said that?
I
I
mean,
mean, like, who don't have any culture?
I mean, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, people say that. People, like I saw a clip of somebody saying, "Oh,
That's
you a
some ignorant shit to say.
dirty black American." Like other black people say that about us. Like we don't have any culture. We don't know our history, and we don't know. I'm like, man,
There's some motherfucker sitting behind a fucking phone or laptop or an iPad.
No,
with
that's
zero culture.
No, that's a lot of people that's sitting behind these podcasts, man. I think you need to get a license to talk now. When it comes to,
You should.
Like a lot of these motherfuckers need podcast licenses, man. You need to be able to pass a test like a driving course to be able to give your opinion on the camera, man. Because a lot of this shit is just people saying things to get a response.
Well, you know, yeah. But the thing about it though, Neff, is it's always gonna be another side.
Of course.
Everything on this earth, every positive has a negative. You know, yin yang. The elements are positive, negative, neutral that make an atom. You know, the elements of an atom, the elements of a molecule, the elements combine to make molecule into whatever matter. There's always another side to it, and you know, it's only two numbers. It's 0 and it's 1. 1, 0. You either do or you fucking don't. You know, you either are or you ain't.
Yes or no.
And
fear and love.
Yeah, exactly.
Yin and yang. Yes, sir.
Death and life.
Right, sir.
Darkness and light. It has to be there in order for extraordinary to exist. I said the other day, I made a post, not even the one most high creator of all living things in this planet. I don't give a fuck what you call them. You call them whatever you call them, it's still there. You don't gotta believe in it because somebody do. But that power does not have a 100% approval rating, whatever it is. I mean, it's understandable. It's so understandable that I know for a fucking fact I'm not gonna have a 100% approval rating. With that being said, just like, you know, the house on fire, yeah, don't go fucking in there. You know it's they robbing niggas over there at that gas station every night. Go get the fucking gas over here.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just, you know it's there. It's easier to deal with, easier. The problem is when it influences the wrong people. But look at the world, how easily influenced the world is to go into darkness, into damnation, into immorality. I don't even know if that's a fucking word, but the level of immoral acts taking place in today's society overall, in entertainment, in music, in everything, is just like, it's there, but you gotta go here. You gotta go where joy take you. You gotta go where understanding is. You gotta go where information that's relevant to your journey, relevant to your existence to keep the message going, to keep the power going in your children, in the youth, in the community, in your brother. Like you say, you gotta learn how to love on your brother instead
That's
of
my answer to what we're doing wrong.
What's that?
We don't love each
We
other.
don't love each other. Yeah.
We truly don't love each other.
Many of us don't.
We don't, you know what I mean? And when you find them
but like
pockets
you
of
said,
love, you gotta appreciate it because it's not prevalent.
Exactly. Like you said, we know. You can't help it. We just said it. I can't help it. I'm gonna love these motherfuckers till I'm out of here. Some of them I'll just be like, I should kick you up your ass, but you know what? I'm gonna do what Yahshua said. It's turn the other fucking cheek, because I'm not gonna do to you what I'm so capable of. That's love. That's
That's a
love.
scary ass way to show it, OG. I'm gonna tell you that. If you looking at this way, nigga, my motherfucking
I mean, because it's so
nigga, I should motherfucking. But I love
you know,
nigga.
but you know,
you're
like
right,
I
but
know,
that's
it's
what I'm
very
saying.
easy to be evil.
Yeah, without question. But we need that. Like the way that you just communicated that way, like the sensitivity that exists now, like that's how I'm used to niggas correcting me and talking to me throughout my life. Cause that let me know, boy,
God damn it.
if nigga, man, Slim, if you ain't,
Exactly.
and it's like, you know what, you right.
Yeah.
All that pity pat, working around your feelings, nigga.
Yeah.
Nah, cause I got love for you. But it's a
Yeah.
motherfucker out here who ain't got no love for
Flat.
you, who gonna knock you upside your head, and I'ma have to put you in the ground. Nigga.
Hello.
Cause you ain't even smart enough to be able to do that for yourself.
That's right.
And that is what love entails. But we gotta love each other enough to do that for somebody you don't got love for initially.
You know where it
what I mean?
starts? In loving yourself. People have to learn how to love themselves first.
What do you think is the most important aspect of loving yourself? What do you think somebody needs to do first to figure out how to love themselves?
Understand themselves. You have to learn yourself. You have to know yourself. You have to get to know yourself. And that means stop and always go back to Tojo words of wisdom, my OG Tojo. Stop trying to be understood and understand. This is a journey that we all have to take individually, but we're here together. You can't change the way people think. You can't change what people do. All you can either do is influence or inspire. With that being said, if you want to be an inspiration, you must know how to be an inspiration, but you got to inspire yourself. And how do you inspire yourself? By knowing what you love, knowing what makes your spirit whole, knowing what you enjoy, knowing who you like being around and who you don't, and taking action on the things that the desires of your heart. You didn't let yourself down when you wanted to become who you are, and you're not gonna let yourself down in your journey to become what you're going to be because you're dedicated to it. Why? Because you love yourself. You found something within yourself that say, I like this. You like it so fucking much you did it damn near perfect. To the point to where it took you from one state of mind to another, from one income to another. We need money to survive. But love don't have nothing to do with money. But love can help you get to where you need to be, where that shit is just a normal flow. And understanding love of self is understanding the love of God. Because the spirit of God, the kingdom of God is within. The power is within us all. You're connected to the power source. If not, you'll be dead.
Without question. And I say that to young men all the time, like, especially young black men. When they see me and they go crazy, oh, Chico Bean, oh, I love you, man. I'm like, that same energy you had when you saw me, I need you to have that energy when you look in the mirror.
Come on now. You got to tell yourself.
I need you to love yourself just as much as you was excited to see me and want to take a picture and all that. When you look in the mirror, I need you to be even more excited to see yourself every day.
Yeah.
And that's very important. And self-love is something that I had to learn quick.
Same.
Because I say all the time, I didn't grow up conventionally in any way, shape, or form. I mean, we talked about it briefly with not having a dad and my mom being the type of lady that she was. Like when my daughter came, my daughter flipped my mama. Like she became, that's why I say I think that she wanted me and my little brother to be a girl. Cause as soon as she got that girl, she turned into a different woman.
Sure,
all of the softness and love and My daughter has no idea who my mama was. She never met her before.
Yeah.
The only time she ever met my mama was when my mama was flipping on us for her.
You.
That's the only time she got to see glimpses of
meet-
who the woman was that
Yeah,
raised us.
You knew.
And I say that all the time. Like, one of the best parts about seeing your parents become grandparents is you get to see them treat your children the way they were supposed to treat you.
The way you wanted to be treated.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
The way we wanted
The way
to be
that-
treated.
exactly.
Because they spoiled the grand. I'm Papa. Say it. What? How much?
See?
Okay.
And your
Like-
kids be watching like, who is this nigga? See, they know the nigga, the motherfucker, I oughta kick you up your goddamn ass. They be like, wait a minute, Pop, what the fuck? You just gonna let this nigga just kick you in your
Well,
knee?
I got all girls, so it was like,
I love you. That's
all you
what-
had
yeah.
to do is just look at them and
Yeah,
say,
see, I'm an advocate of that. If I
Yeah.
only got one daughter, but I got, some bonus daughters too. But
Yeah.
I love girl. I think girls are easier than boys. That's just my personal opinion.
yeah, because it's up to mama to show them how to be a lady, but it's up to daddy to show them what type of man, what a man
What a
is,
man-
and
yeah.
what you should look for in a man.
Yeah, exactly.
The duties of a man,
But I say that to say,
responsibility of a man.
being as though I grew up the way I grew up, I don't know a time in my life when I wasn't responsible for something other than myself. I was always responsible for somebody or something other than me. So I had to learn how to deal with responsibility from the beginning of my life.
Siblings?
I got a little brother,
Okay.
but that's what I'm saying. My mother was getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work my whole life. So if I woke up and Wanda was home, something was wrong.
Yeah.
So I was getting my little brother ready to go to school, making sure he got home to school, back from school. From this big,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Latchkey kid, as they call it. That was me. So I always was
No,
responsible.
no. So how far are you?
3
got?
years.
3. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh
so,
shit.
3 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm talking about catching the bus by ourselves, all of that. The Metro bus. We ain't never rode no school buses in DC. It wasn't, so I'm amongst everything that the city got to offer every day, going back and forth to school. So for me, a lot of the responsibility that I had to take on solo, because everybody didn't have those responsibilities. My mother always told me, I'm responsible for what you need, not what you want.
Come on now. That's
What you
gospel.
need is my responsibility.
Yeah.
What you want is on you.
That's on you.
So I've been getting my own what I want since I was 9.
You taught your babies that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But still, not in the same way no. My daughter don't know that. Like, she don't know the shit that I had to go through. She understands it because I gave it to her in pieces to let her appreciate the life that she's lived. But I used to have, now through going through therapy, I realized it was separation anxiety, meaning that when I was young and my friends would be outside riding bikes, playing football, and playing tag and doing kid shit, I used to have to walk to the Safeway and get the groceries because my mama was too tired because she had to catch 3 buses to get back home from work. So I'm carrying a cart down the street, going to the Safeway to pick up all of the groceries and buy groceries while my friends playing football. And I used to just be like, man, damn, how could them niggas be okay with having a football game without me? Like, how could they be okay with riding bikes without me? I had to figure out how to operate within my own mental space early. And as I developed into a man, it made me realize that most niggas never get that.
When did you go for therapy?
I started therapy when my Aunt Murray passed away in 2017. Because my Aunt Murray was like my grandmother. That's the one I was talking about that had the house. When she passed away, I had to go through therapy because the role that you play as Papa, like, that's my grandmother passed away a month before I was born. So I'd say all the time I was dealing with grief in the womb because my mother was grieving her mother while she was pregnant with me. So when my Aunt Murray died,
That's a real thing.
yeah,
No,
without
real-
question.
That
Transfer of energy.
Indeed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So for me, when she passed away, it punished me. Like, it punished me because she was the one that always poured into me in a way that my mama couldn't because she was always gone and working.
What gave you the courage to go to seek therapy? Like, make the decision to say, you know what, I need to get some help.
Because I already had developed so many coping mechanisms and none of them were working when my Aunt Murray passed away. Like I said, I grew up in an environment where I had to learn how to be self-sufficient, self-reliant. I learned how to deal with a lot of things on my own. I never had nobody to go get to protect me or you know what I mean? That wasn't an option. I had it, but that wasn't given to me as an option. So you figure it out. You know what I'm saying? We here if you really need something or need some help, but a lot of this shit you can figure out on your own.
On your own.
You know what I'm saying? So me having those skills and having that skill set, when my aunt passed away, none of the things that I had reverted to in death, because I've been dealing with death my whole life. My Uncle Reggie got killed in 2002. That was one of the biggest losses of my life at that time, but I still was able to deal with it because I understood from a perspective of what he gave me, how to deal with the streets and how the streets go and all. But my Aunt Mary, nobody had prepped me for how to deal with that. So once I started to revert back to my things that helped me get through tough times and none of that shit was working, I said, I gotta talk to somebody, because it's a lot of unaddressed shit that I haven't addressed. That's for me, you know what I mean? A lot of times we are out here operating in a space of being a man, but it's some shit that, whatever they used to call you when you was a little boy, whatever your nickname is, it's some shit that's unaddressed for him that you need to address. You need to get some of that shit straight first.
I understood 100%. I used to carry the story that was presented to me about, you know, I grew up without a father. My pops left when I was young, and so I had to sell dope. And as an adult, I say, no, one day, not too distant past, one day I was just riding and I was like, man, it ain't my daddy fault for none of the shit I went through. I was like, I'm the one that took that sack. I could have went and got a fucking job. I'm the one that kept digging into the dope game. My daddy didn't have nothing to do with me going to prison. That was my motherfucking shit. That was my shit. I'd start taking accountability for every fucking thing I used to put on everybody else. That shit cleansed my soul so fast that it wasn't a week later, I had just took off into another dimension and was just like, boom, just like, I mean, go. And everything started working out. It's like, we don't never take accountability for our own fucking actions. When we old enough to make decisions, you know, I'm hanging with knuckleheads because those knuckleheads were influential. But I could have said, no, I'm gonna go to hang out with the people that's studying. But I didn't. You know, the women like these shiny motherfuckers, but these niggas ain't shit. You know, I ain't know that these was the motherfuckers you gotta hire. Should have been with their ass though.
Building a rapport earlier.
Yeah, I got it now.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? But that's really what did it for me, was that loss. And even still, when I lost my mom, you know, that I wasn't prepared for that either. I thought that I knew death because I dealt with it so much. I've been living with it my whole life. But I watched my mother pass away, OG. I watched her take her last breath. I stood in that room and rubbed her back until she passed away. And when I walked out into that hallway in that hospital, a hole got ripped in me that I've been trying to fill up ever since that day. Now, the thing about it is, a lot of times when we go through trauma, we, you know, especially as men, you know what I mean? We shelter. We, you know what I mean? Like, we try to act like everything's okay and act like everything's all right. I couldn't do that because I knew at that moment that love that I just lost, I'd never get again. Ever. So it's nowhere for me to retreat to because my retreat has left here. So I got to figure out how to really do this shit for the rest of my life without something that I never really prepped myself for dealing with the absence of. So I went to Africa. I just went to Ghana just to be away from everything and just figure out what I needed to do. Yeah. And it was the most stillness I ever had in my life. And it gave me time to be able to realize that, oh, okay, one, as difficult as it is for me to have to deal with the loss of my mother, her dream came true because she left here before her babies did. And that's every parent's dream. Because what it did for me to have to go through watching her pass away, it was a very, very good chance of the way I was coming up and how I lived and who I was, that could have been a reality for her. So I can't imagine what that worry was for her when her son was out
in the shit,
bullshitting and doing all this shit I was doing. Like, that probably was something that crossed her mind a whole lot. But I never had to think about those things until her absence, until she left here. I say all the time, the book of my life with my mother in it has the end on it. But the benefit of that is now I get to read it in its totality because I'm not adding any more chapters. So it gave me an understanding of how to deal with the fact that one, her dream came true because she left here before her children did, and two, that's the way the circle of life is supposed to go. So how selfish is it of me to walk around like I don't still have to live my life? Because death is a problem for the living. She ain't got no more issues. All her problems are over. So I owe it to the people that are still here who depend on me not to be punished for things going the way God intended them to go.
Boy, I think you minister.
Oh no, that's just what it is. Like you gotta but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
OG,
experience
I
teaches you
didn't experience. I done dealt with so much death in my life. I come from the city of like the murder capital when it was, you know what I mean? And people don't really talk about the trauma that does, even if it's just in your surrounding. Like violence was normal. It was normal.
And it's yeah.
It was. I mean, when I say normal, I mean normal.
And nobody, not just us, but nobody deals with that. Every nigga is suffering from post-traumatic stress.
And you don't even know how you got it.
Don't even know they suffering from
Yeah.
it. It's all fucked up. That's all that shit we be seeing, all that fighting and angry and shit. That's coming from not dealing with trauma.
I worked as a qualified professional with people with autism. That was what I did before I became a comedian full time. And it's a book called the DSM-5, the Diagnostical Statistical Manual for Mental Disorders. And they make you read it when you get this job. And the crazy part is when you read this book, before you get 2 or 3 chapters into it, you start diagnosing yourself. You're like, damn, nigga, I got this. This a mental disorder? This a mental disability? And one of the things that I learned.
I'm scared to read that book.
Oh yeah, listen, OG, it fuck you up. It fuck you up. Like it's like, oh my God, I didn't even know I had this. But I say that to say, like, one of the things that I noticed in doing that work is our representation is lacking everywhere. Because the people who write these books don't consider our condition when they do it. Our condition isn't considered. Like every black person has PTSD.
Every fucking one.
Every last one of us. Even if you look at it from a perspective
from
of
DNA.
I never forget, during the pandemic, me and my daughter were riding back from getting something to eat. And the police pulled me over. And she was, at 11? She ain't never dealt with no police. She don't come from that environment at all. But when that police got behind her, she was like, oh, daddy. And I'm like, how did
she know to
even just instinctively to react that way?
Yeah.
It's embedded in us. It's passed down through the genetics, but we have to have a representation there that's willing to stand and speak for us in those spaces and say, hey, when you write these conditions now, the same way you took Asperger's and plugged it into the autism spectrum, we need somebody to be like, hey, black people are suffering from mental disabilities that aren't represented in this book that allow people to write grants to get help for it. So until we can get somebody in them rooms that do, we're gonna be lacking in the mental health department. So I think it would probably be beneficial for you to get some people in here that understand us so you can stop complaining about all this black fatigue and all this shit that these people supposedly have.
Suspects
yeah, no, you know what I mean? We're not our representation is lacking all over. So we need that. We need this, and we need people that are willing to stand and say, hey, I understand that, the victim mentality is something that people like to place upon us and, say, oh, why are you blaming me for something my great-great-great-great-granddad did? And why we didn't do it? And no, you didn't, but you also are standing by while the laws that were put into place by your great-great-great-grandfather aren't being fucking changed.
Yeah.
And the text and the things that are being distributed to our children are still the same from 150 years ago.
Yeah.
So if the mentality
is being
as
what's being taught.
Yeah, you didn't do it, but you also didn't change what was done.
Right.
So that's the responsibility.
And we never dealt with what was done.
No.
And so that trauma, that genetic trauma just kept being passed on.
Yes, sir.
Wow. What's one truth you learned that took you a long time to accept?
One truth that I learned that it took me a long time to accept.
Yeah. Something you learned, you just say, you know what, fuck it. I mean, I would imagine, but mine is my mom passing away, and it's like every day. My mom died in 2019. It's 7 years every day, 365 times 7. it don't go away.
I still ain't
know I
accepted that
can't
reality
change it, but it's still something in me that telling me like, nah, I gotta do
I
something.
I ain't got there yet. I'm getting there, but I'm getting it, but it never goes away. That part, I'll tell you that, and I know from experience, because it's an exclusive club to be in. You only know when you know.
Yeah.
But it never goes away. My uncle told me that the night before my mother's funeral. He said, "Man, your grandmama been dead damn near 40 years." He said, "It's not a day that go past I don't think about her. Every day I think about her." So that put it in perspective for me. It's like, okay, well, it'll never go away.
But you know,
a truth that it took me a long time to accept is you're only responsible for your happiness. You can't make nobody else happy. You can't make anybody else happy. You can contribute to happiness for other people, but you're only responsible for you being happy. And that took me a long time, because I used to try to make the people that my mentality is this, like, I don't give a fuck about what I don't give a fuck about. But what I do give a fuck about, I give all the fucks about.
That's
you
right.
know what I'm saying? And one of the things that I noticed about myself is that because I don't contribute, like, I don't argue with strangers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even with women, like, I refuse to get into a debate with a woman I don't know.
Period.
Because that's disrespectful to the women who have earned the right to debate with me. So I'm not gonna distribute energy to you that is meant for somebody who's earned it. But in that sense,
you got to explain that. Who's earned the right to debate with you? Your wife?
no, I don't ever want to have a wife.
You know.
No. But
your
women who have earned the right to.
You say, I don't ever want
No. I don't. No, marriage is not my.
Hey, listen,
marriage
for everybody.
No, it's not for me. Yeah, marriage or relationship, but that's another conversation. You know what I mean? We get it at if you want to, but like I was saying, like.
Well, I'm fucking curious now.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to hear it.
Oh yeah, I'll share it with you. I'm about to.
If you want to finish the other part,
but
you fucked me up with that one.
Yeah,
because I want to hear this.
Yeah, for sure. But meaning somebody who has given you the same energy that you've given them in regards to, how you communicate, the connection that you have. It don't necessarily have to be an intimate situation. It could just be somebody who has,
you have respectful dialogue with.
Somebody who has earned the right, that has shown you in times that they know how to communicate.
Yeah.
To where if you do have a disagreement, you know how to compartmentalize that disagreement without being aggressive or angry or arguing or disrespectful and all of that type of shit. That's what you're supposed to dedicate that energy to.
Indeed. Okay.
Being out here arguing with a motherfucking line at Walmart, like, it's just a waste of energy.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So,
every now and then, though, I don't mind cussing a motherfucker out. It's just like a toilet flushing, just let's go and get this shit out of here.
Yeah, but that's
bitch, I beat your motherfucker.
Yeah, see, that's why they said, man, if you go to Detroit, don't go around TrickTrick. Don't go around TrickTrick. TrickTrick gonna get you.
That's boogeyman shit.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to get to see the point.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's boogeyman shit. But yeah, I think that's one of the things that it took me a long time to learn, that you can't make anybody else happy. Not your children, not your parents,
That's right.
You can only make yourself happy. And that happiness that you make yourself is going to translate into the relationships that you have.
Man, my sister, Monique Mike Tiller, she wrote a book, and it's called Grieving, something Grieving. But there's a chapter in her book that says, grieving the loss of your plans for your children. I said, ooh, that's a bad motherfucker. Because you could walk your children up to the gates of life with every piece of preparation, and the minute they turn the corner and get around their peers, you don't know how much your influence or inspiration is gonna affect them, because they gonna make their own decisions.
Right.
And those decisions don't always be in line with the shit that you even talked about, prayed about, learned, taught, sat, learned, educated about, nothing. And then you get, and you be like, Where the fuck did this come from? What is this? I thought but it's a reality, you know? That's very much relative to that understanding, and you understanding you can't make people happy.
Yeah, without question. And
You can't
even
make people do shit.
along the lines of what you just said, my daughter's getting ready to turn 18 in August. And one of the things that, another benefit I say rather, of me not having a dad is I had no blueprint of how to do it. So I got to create my own.
All right.
I did it my way. I did it the way that I saw fit. And when it came to my daughter, like it was two things that I recognized in having a daughter. One, man, this is the biggest blessing because this little girl is going to look at me for all of the answers of what a man is supposed to do and what a man is supposed to be and what a man is supposed to do for them and all of those things. And number two was one day, she gonna get the fucking out here. That's a reality. Those are the first two things I thought when I saw my baby. I'm like, you know what? I have a responsibility to navigate all of this and what comes with it. Because people hear that and they think, well, that's a reality. Yeah. Because every woman is somebody's daughter.
Yeah.
And when you think about the type of relationship that most men have with their daughters, that's just something that, oh my God, I can't even be. Nah, I chose it. Two things I told my baby when she was a little girl, and these are the only two rules that we still operate by, the only mandated rules. Everything else is up for negotiation. Number one, there's no such thing as I don't know. You don't get to tell me I don't know. What you mean you don't know? Well, we gonna figure it out because you don't have the luxury of making decisions out. You're a black woman. Yeah. You can't just be out here doing shit frivolously.
That's right.
You gotta be able to know how to say what you mean what you say, and explain yourself thoroughly no matter what situation you in. So don't be making no decisions that you can't explain. Ain't no such thing as I don't know. Number two, come to me first, no matter what it is. Don't let me hear nothing about my baby that I should hear from my baby. Because if I hear it from somebody else, that means you strip me of my responsibility and my obligation to you as a father and helping you get through all of the things that you need to get through. And those were my two rules. And the thing that most dudes don't understand when I had that conversation with other fathers is what it does for you and the responsibility and accountability you have as a man. Because I got to be able to take whatever you come to me with.
But what do you do when that nigga get in her ear?
See, that's the thing. I'm not afraid of that because I've established a relationship with my daughter to where she's not afraid to talk to me. Mm-hmm. She tells me everything because she respects me enough to know that whatever she comes to me with, I'm with you right or wrong. But if you're wrong, you fucking wrong. And that's just what it is. Now, as far as a man being able to influence her, that's gonna happen in some way, shape, or form because that's just the way life goes. But as long as I can respect her and expect her to come to me and be honest with me about what she's going through, that's all you can ask for. I'll give you a perfect example. Like, it's a group of girls that all of my daughters in my mind, all of these are my babies. Been taking them on a birthday trip since my daughter was 6 years old. We go every year. Mm-hmm. And this past year we was in Miami and I, bust in on them. They was in there having one of them girl conversations. Mm-hmm. And they was like, oh, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead. And they was like, no, come here, let us ask you something. And they involved me in a conversation that I know I would have never in my life had with my parent in any capacity, that they just were comfortable enough to have with me. And at that point I was like, these
kids
babies
different now, dog. They different now.
They trust me.
They ruthless.
They trust me. But that's all I can ask for is the trust. Yeah. Because if you trust me, that means that you're not going to be afraid to come tell me whatever it is that's going on with you. Mm-hmm. And that's all you can ask for. That's because real. Once you get out in the world, what the fuck is you going to do? You can't do that. It's going to come a time where my influence is only going to be able to lead you to a certain point. People say 18 is where it ends. To me, 18 is where it stops because that's where the consequences become real.
17.
Yeah, 17, 18, whenever, however you want to look at it.
People get in their ears in school.
Well, how do you deal with it as a father of how many daughters do you have?
4.
Okay, how have you dealt with it? Give me some game on a father. Are all your children grown? All your daughters grown?
Yes, all of them
How
grown.
How have you dealt with?
Accepting that I can't make decisions for them and grieving, spiritually cleansing and understanding that at this point, they're gonna do what they want to do. I talk like this with them they live with Papa, they live with Daddy, they was out of school. You know what I mean? So I mean, not taking nothing away from their mothers or nothing. We was in the house, all of us. So it was we like this. I'm player partner. I'm big homie. I'm Big Daddy. Like I say, I look and shut it down. One look, I ain't have to raise my voice. I ain't have to holler. I think I could count on one hand between all of them when I said something to either of them. And it's just that amount of, where it got, like, all right now, and that's been talking life changing moments where, hey, now I ain't fucking around. Now you have to know this because out there is death and destruction with that pathway. So please understand what I'm saying to you. I'm saying it to you from a safe place where I'm gonna keep you safe from that. But, and for the most part, I gotta say, they not junkies, they not whores, they not prostitutes, they not Insta models, they're working in professions. They're doing well for themselves, and they're not no pieces of shit, So it's all
they're better human beings than you were.
Indeed, they didn't get into none of the fuckery ideas. So I'm like, and that's where you go. It's like you're gonna be grateful and understanding to what is. The gratefulness is thank you God for keeping them safe. We come from violence. We come from hell of violence. My bloodline is violence from Papa. You know what I mean? Crime. It was the way of the environment for a lot of us. But to be able to, our generation to be able to break generational curses and, learn business, understand business and build entrepreneurship, and to help pass that down to many of the young people under us, from me, my brother's kids, my cousin's kids, all of them, everybody doing good, everybody close, but you still don't get to dictate or even run. Like you can say, oh, I did this, and then, but you wanted this, and you wanted this, and you thought this, and you thought that, but it ain't that. It's like, and there's some things they do, you just be like, oh my. And then you just go, that ain't my business. They grown, they gonna make their own decisions, and ain't nothing I could do about that. But accept their decisions, respect their decisions, and if it's something wrong, may the Most High cover them and protect their decisions, and may they learn from their decisions, and understand that your decisions are gonna reflect you more than they're gonna reflect us. They're gonna reflect us too. I'm the one gotta buy your ass out of jail. I'm the one gotta hire the lawyer. I'm the one that gotta get in the car and come get to you if anything go wrong from this point on till I'm out of here. I'm Superman, and we know this. I'm Darth Vader too. Now, so hey, let's not take Papa down that route, cause Daddy ain't coming to fuck around.
Right.
And you know how Daddy get down.
Right.
Don't put Daddy in that situation.
Right.
Cause you know what I'm gonna do.
Right.
And I'm not trying to make them hide nothing. I don't want to scare you because I gotta be the one to rescue you.
Right.
But you gotta understand, once you call me, it's everything out the way if it's against you.
Yeah, but that level of understanding is what I try to instill in my daughter. And mind you, God willing, I got a long journey to go with her while I'm still here. But the reality is, the conversations that I have with my daughter, I've seen from experience, a lot of dudes are afraid to talk to their daughters about the things that me and my daughter have dialogued and are willing to dialogue about.
Right.
Like I told my daughter, even within the sex conversation, I'm like, look, there's two things you need to know, baby. When you get in the game, you're in it. Whenever you decide to get in the game, you can't get back out. You only got it to give away one time.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
So whoever you choose, because it's going to be your choice. Yeah. Whenever you make that choice, if you can't stand at the mountaintop and say, this the motherfucker I picked, don't pick them.
I know that's right.
Because that's going to be your choice for the rest of your life.
That's your pick.
You know what I'm saying? So all of those things are things that, and I've instilled the same thing that you instill with your babies, I instill with my girls. I'm like, look, you have a responsibility to be able to navigate your own relationships, because once you involve me, then there's a certain level of understanding that goes out of the window. I don't care what happened, but I'm going to tell you that as long as you know, I understand how shit go.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes shit get a little spicy.
They do.
Don't put your hands on my baby.
Flat.
I come get her before you have to, because she been raised already. You ain't got to raise her. She got a daddy that raised her, so she don't need to be raised twice. Don't put your hands on my baby. Don't fuck all that. I don't care what. I'll come get her, because I understand how shit go. You know what I mean? Motherfucker get the...
They hit, they talk,
I get it.
They swing.
You know what I mean? The shit get hectic.
Yeah.
But she been raised already, so you ain't got to raise her. I come get my baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I got a couple bullies. They act like pits.
But that's because they know you coming.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to understand.
But here go the thing. They'll be who they are and won't call. They will, make that... And then it's like, I hear about it later, like, what?
Yeah, but I mean, that's doing what you said don't do. So you got to respect them for not putting you in that situation. So you have to look at it from a perspective of, even though...
My cousin say, just don't get in no dick and pussy shit. That was just relationship shit. Cause it's like hard. Like the young lady said, I think her name Dominique, she said, I done come over here, jumped in this shit, and now I'm in I see you blinking once for yeah and twice for no. Yeah. And y'all sending out wedding invitations.
Yeah. I'm talking about, I done seen it from experience. Literally from experience. I'm talking about show up and motherfucker get to hollering. Don't do nothing to him.
Yeah.
Fuck you mean don't do nothing to him?
Yeah.
That's what you call me for. We over here to do something to him. Don't hurt him. And then I'm talking about you go over there, get involved in that shit, they'll jump you. I've seen it.
Yeah.
You didn't show them, that motherfucker they will beat you up together, and it's like you can't get involved in that. But as a parent, it's different. So you gotta let them fly. You know what I'm saying? That's what I understand. You gotta let them fly. But the reality is, like, I'm very, very understanding of the fact that I raised a better human being in me.
Than you. That's right. That's
I
right.
got I can't allow myself to ever forget that reality. This person is a better human being than me, and I see it. I gotta tell myself that in situations. Perfect example, my daughter got a license. I bought her a car for Christmas, and she was she moved. She live in Alabama now, but she came back because all the girls graduated in North Carolina, and the car was at my house, and she was like, "Daddy, could I get my car for the time that I'm here? Me and the girls want to move around. I don't want to ask nobody for no." And it was just something that was just like, shit. But go ahead, baby. It's your car. You know what I mean? Who am I to continue to dictate? If I don't allow you to make decisions on your own, how will I ever know how you make decisions and how you operate when you make decisions? And she went and got it and was, I'm talking about a model citizen with the car. And I had to tell myself, and thinking about it, like, man, this baby has a key to the house and a brand new car sitting in the garage, and I'm all the way in wherever the fuck I'm at. If I put myself in those shoes, nigga, I would have stole my car before I asked for it. Ain't no way in the world you'd have been able to keep me out a car that's sitting in front of, man, what?
Not even, it can be your mama
man,
car.
Whoever car. Man, you tripping. I'm gonna have this motherfucker parked back the way you, and hope you don't check the mileage on it.
Yeah.
Cause we in the streets.
Yeah.
So to know that she has just the character to be able, the courtesy to be able to do something that she could, I'd have never known it was gone.
But don't tell her this part.
I mean, she know. I mean, we had that. We talked about it. I let her know that. That's what I mean in dialogue. I'm not afraid to tell her, hey, good job. Because if it was me, this is what I would have done.
Yeah.
And you a better person
than me. That's what's
you know what I'm saying? So I want you to understand that there's value in that.
Yeah.
I don't ever want you to lose the value in making decisions that are conscious decisions that are beneficial, not just to you, but to me as well. Like you just said, don't put me in a position, because I'm coming regardless of what happens.
Right.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
Right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm showing up.
Yeah. Lights and sirens.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm showing up for my baby.
I'm pulling up.
You know what I'm saying? And whatever it is, it's gonna be, it's gonna be. But the reality is, as long as you understand that making decisions that are cognitive of what's right and wrong based on what you know is right and wrong. If you do that, I'm gonna always let you know, hey man, good job. Great work.
What do you want your legacy to be when it's all said and done?
Man, I always say this, I'm working for the picture over the fireplace. Meaning, you know how you walk in and that picture of a name?
That's right.
Probably with my hair like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
it's my granddaddy.
Yeah, like
my great granddaddy.
When you talk about generational curses, like I got that tattooed on me, generational curse breaker.
Yeah.
Like I'm the first one in my family to do any of the things that I've done legally.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I ain't the first person to have a whole bunch of money, but I'm the first person to have some and keep it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm the first person to do it in the way that I've done it. So for me, I want my legacy to be that because I did what I did, you don't have to do what I did.
Right. That's
and
right.
because I did what I did, it's a whole lot easier for you to do whatever it is you
want to do. Live. Ladies and gentlemen, the FlyZoneUSA, it's your big OG TrickTrick live in the Blue Room on 8 Mile.
Now, before we go, I got to ask you a couple questions.
Oh,
No,
shit.
yeah, I got to ask you a couple questions. I got to. The extended version. The extended clip. You can't have me in here with the OG and I not ask you a couple of questions.
Got it. You got it, baby.
The name of the podcast is the No Fly Zone.
No, FlyZoneUSA.
Well, Fly Zone USA, but it stems from the No Fly Zone.
Yeah.
When it comes to the No Fly Zone, I think there's a lot of misconceptions about what really caused you to put that in place. But my question is, how did you become a person in this city that was able to implement a No Fly Zone? What do you think
was giving a fuck what people think or say it? I know when you want to make change, you're gonna ruffle some feathers. You're gonna piss some people off. Period. Just being somebody that will lead others to better. Being somebody that will convince others that a sacrifice needs to be made by simply making the sacrifice myself. I went against the music industry. It wasn't about the artists. It was about the record labels. It was about the DJs. It was about the promoters, not giving the artists in Detroit. There's so many of them, and there have been many artists from my start in the music industry from 1992, the GBK, all the way to 2000 and whatever the fuck when I went on the radio and just, I thought about it for I even tried to start a union before, literally call all the artists, the DJs and everybody to say that if you was there, you was there. Many people were there. It was packed. Producers, everybody. And I said, we have to get on the same page, y'all. I said, DJs, we're gonna need more support from you guys on these artists. Promoters, we're gonna need more support from you guys for our own artists. We getting all of this attention for all of these other artists coming from all over the place. And then you charging the people that live here who got followings, who got, fans, who got whole neighborhoods that'll come out and support them. And you taxing them to get down. I mean, they earned a space in their own backyard to do great things, other than it being just local. We can click our BDS numbers up to the point to where somebody in an office in California, BDS, Broadcast Data Systems, with your record play, it registers, everybody can read this in every record label, when record labels made a little bit of sense, and it was just, the artists were getting ignored to the point to where I just was like, you know what? And there was a couple of people to say, well, what if we don't, I say, well, okay, well then you ain't with us. And what that mean? Okay, now you picking. If you ain't with us, then fuck you. Now what you want to do, nigga? Because we're trying to do something that's going to be better for everybody, that could build the type of situation around here that can make the artistry here have a run like Death Row had LA, like Bad Boy and Def Jam had New York, like Atlanta, Atlanta fucking came, they kicked the fucking door down and didn't get out the way. Houston, Jay Prince and his movement, Luke in Miami. You know, everybody had a shot. Our last shot was Motown before I started making this
Which
bitch
was
holler.
the biggest, yeah.
You know, and I loved the Motown era, but it was some new things going on that deserved the attention to be on the forefront of music worldwide.
Yes, sir.
And it wasn't just Marshall, my boy. It wasn't just, you know, his crew, D12, you know, family. It was, you know, more, so many more, you know, and not that Marshall and them didn't represent us. They didn't represent us in a bad way because of the content of what he did. Marshall M did what he does professionally at an extraordinarily skilled level that took him past where any other artist in music ever fucking been. That representation alone is a kabloom, but motherfuckers would rather hate on him instead of standing behind him or standing with him. I'm already, cause Proof was in Goon Squad, so I'm already standing next to him cause Proof is my guy. Proof gave a fuck about Detroit artists and gave a fuck about the Detroit hip hop community, so did I. And I dug all the way till I found the problem, and when people bucked up at me enough to make me, you know, piss me off about trying to do something nice, you know, and trying to be nice about it, hey guys, let's get together. Hey guys, hey, I think we should do this together, and I think the unity, and this, that, and the other, and everybody like, oh, that motherfucker. Hey bitch, what the fuck I say? So y'all want to pay me? Okay, I tell you what, everybody sit the fuck down. Don't nobody move around this bitch. If you think I'm fucking playing, come on. Every motherfucking body come in here, line their ass up. Cause somebody think I'm a fucking joke. I'm trying to do something nice for every fucking body. Can we get together and please do, but see, they don't want to hear when you hear diplomat these nuts. No, kick ass, take names. You gotta do it with brute force if people don't, and I did. Now, a lot of artists that fell under what people would assume, oh, they did this because of No Fly Zone. Most of the time, it wasn't. We never had our only No Fly Zone activity, really, was when Ross came that year, and it wasn't even at him like that. We had some personal little shit on the side that was minor, mediocre. It was that event, Summer Jam. It's 2 artists from the city on it because you can't help but put them where they supposed to be because they done kicked ass. But some of these other cats deserve a shot. And I'm asking the program director and people for these youngsters to get a chance to one song a piece. I even introduced him. And the motherfucker thought I was bullshitting because I had to let him know about Buddy. Like, hey buddy, I need to talk to you about him because I need to get him on the phone. And this guy, he was a program director. He was a guy running the show. Even the promoter, they act like they like, fuck him. He ain't talking about nothing. And it's like, I'm gonna shut that motherfucker down. I ain't gonna shut the whole show down so the promoter can still, you know, if you saw a show, I don't have to give you your money back. If you saw a whole show, minus the headliner, I don't gotta give you your fucking money back. So you saw a whole show if you bought a ticket. You saw a show and had to give nobody fucking money back. But the headliner, I had to send him home. At least I sent him home safe. I sent him home unharmed. Most people didn't get that luxury. A lot of people didn't get that luxury. A lot of people left this motherfucker months later out of comas. This guy, I said, no, don't nobody fucking touch him. We ain't getting into it with the police. We ain't getting into it. This is a message to these people in this venue behind us, because they the ones think it's a joke. Sorry, sir. I need you to just go ahead, keep going. Now, you got the money. Go ahead. This ain't happening tonight, because they think it's a fucking joke. And after that, the year after that, nephew, the whole fucking show was Detroit artists. I was banned. Happiest fucking banning moment of my life. Mm-hmm. I was banned. I loved it, but the whole show was Detroit. And I said, now that's what the fuck I wanted.
And Detroit has since then I'm
Not
talking about
fucking around.
at all. I'm talking about some of my favorite music. I say all the time, my favorite rap coming out of Detroit and Flint the past 7 years, 8
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
But with that being said, the reason why I asked you that is because, and you just gave the greatest answer that you could have gave, you know what I mean, with this nigga like Angry Man off Martin. It turned
No,
into
it's just like,
I mean,
when
but
I get
get
there,
it.
it's
No,
like,
I get
God
it. I
damn,
get it.
y'all,
I
I'm trying to
understand.
be nice.
But that's
Fuck.
why that leads into my next question. With that mentality and you being so serious and stern and being so stand on business, how much do you attribute you still being able to be out here and operate in the space that you are? How much do you attribute to strategy and how much do you attribute to luck?
Everything is strategy. Everything is strategy. Everything is strategy. It's all military. It's all thought out. It's all planned, and it's all executed specifically, you know, and with precision. Because, you know, if you don't study the play, you know, somebody gonna fumble the ball, turn it over. You know, you gotta study the play. You gotta put the right players with the right players. It ain't just me. It's a lot of players that go unseen and unheard because they like it better that way. You know, there's a lot of cats that's on the front line, even still to this day, that move for the purpose, move for the family, move for the unit, move for a bigger purpose than self. You know, and it's all about, you know, representing and giving something to somebody who don't have to do it themselves. They still deserve a shot. You know, they can't. Sometimes you can't battle against these fucking radio stations and these promoters and these DJs. DJs back in the day when that money was running around, when them Def Jam reps was running around handing envelopes out, like it got hard for local talent every fucking where, and that's unfair as fuck. You know what I mean? Especially the local talent is the ones flooding the clubs, and they gotta pay you to put their fucking record on because you done got dipped by this Def Jam nigga or this Universal nigga who keep coming in here putting money in your hand, and you looking over the people that live here. What if they decide today, we gonna beat his motherfucking ass, and the next DJ coming this motherfucker, he gonna do what we tell him, because it's not impossible. It wasn't. I know for a fact. I just knock on the DJ door at 3 o'clock in the motherfucking morning. I'm just bringing this record by. You ain't had to come by the house. No, I was in the neighborhood. I just stopped by. Yeah. I ain't come by the club, you motherfucker.
Make it a transfer the fuck up out this motherfucker. I don't want to work here no more.
Yeah.
But
well, so be it. Get the fuck on. The
I
next
feel you.
person
That
will
makes
know
sense.
that around here we support one another.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and if this ain't what you own, get the fuck on.
Yeah.
Go move somewhere else and do it somewhere else with your slow ass. And yeah, good fucking luck, cocksucker.
Man.
Cause there's some people that, I ain't, you know what, it ain't even about them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But my last question is being as though you have so much history and me understanding, like I'm a Detroit, like I love this city. I've been listening to the music that come out of this city for a long time, you know what I'm saying? How did you manage to stay, or what did you do rather, this is a better question. How did you navigate the east side, west side shit?
I come from both.
I know, but I heard you say that. That's what made me think of that question, like, because you know the blade and the you know, I mean, there's no need to get into the whole.
I mean, you can look in it, the west side is a different monster, you know. Some vicious motherfuckers on the west side. Now, east side got some monsters, but it was more of a unified situation on the east side, just from experience. Here, you know, I got the most love from the east side, you know. It's just the way the east side is. I don't know. It's just, you know, one of those things you learn later. You know, you go, wait a minute, you know what? Them niggas over there ain't shit. They kill each other as fuck. Like, it's all up in the niggas you went to school with, niggas that's from the sandbox, knocking each other off, fucking other niggas' holes, and just, y'all niggas a mess. Over here, it's a level of sternness, firmness, family values, understanding, respect that I see over here that's different than over there. It's just it is. And I'm so these motherfuckers over here, you know what I mean? All the trouble I got into was on the west side. All the hell I went through was on the west side. All the death that I experienced outside of my own personal grief from my mom and, you know, a few relatives over there. My best friends were killed, you know, over here. From over here, you know, or they over here. My best friend was killed and set up by some of the closest people to him. You know what I mean? And it wasn't, you know what I mean, I was out of town, but the people who he grew up with, these are the people that took him out. Well, guess why? Because this motherfucker tried to take him out. And you just sit here and observe this shit after a while. You go, I know a motherfucker told his own Lucine knocked down his relative. That's a piece of shit to me. And just observing that behavior, you go, if you gonna put it on the scale and go, yeah, you niggas ain't shit. Y'all some rotten motherfuckers. Over here, it's, you know, it's a thing over here. It's, you know, I'm riding yesterday and on the fireworks on the east side. Kids.
Yeah, I got here last night. I went to Sweetwater, man, and they had the fireworks going off. All the dudes was outside with the old schools and all that, man. Right. Beautiful city, man.
Yeah, and you see the east side when you ride down Gratiot, it's just all the people.
I call it Gratiot.
Gratiot, right?
Gratiot.
They got barbecue pits outside. All the old schools, all the guys from the east side is doing that, getting that money. Like, it's a beautiful thing. Like, to just see that unity and togetherness and just people chilling and not fucking acting a fool. You know what I mean? You go over there, boy, it's whew. And I hear the fucking scammers on the weekends. So, because I work in anti-human trafficking, so.
Good job.
Yeah, I work with that. Helping victims of human trafficking and survivors. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things I do to, you know,
give back.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's just the Lord's work. So I'm a little bit more able to do some things that some other people can't do.
Oh, I know. Like one of my old guys, rest his soul, used to say, man, I'm doing the work to get into heaven because I know I did enough to go to hell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And shout out to, you know, many authorities that allow me to be me. Mm-hmm. If that make any sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to them.
I get it, without question.
Somebody got to do something.
Right.
You know, when you got these monsters running around. So, you know, it is what it is.
Hey, man, I can sit here and talk to you all day. I know you.
Never.
You know, babe.
Ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to do it again. FlyZoneUSA, your big OG TrickTrick, Chico Bean, nephew.
Thank you, man.
Man, love. Thank you so much, brother.
Honor,
thank you so much, man. I can't wait to see him on stage again and tell that Carlos Miller, man, he was trying to give me stitches.
Man, oh, for sure.
That motherfucker.
I wish I had my phone. Let me see. Man, them niggas might be recording right now, too. Let me see if he answer the phone.